Ripples on Deep Water by Orphan Account on AO3. Episode 32. Chapter 31. Anguish of the Quirkless. Shinso Sanekai had very few pleasures in her life. Working as a probie cop wasn't easy, and it definitely wasn't forgiving. She got two majors, criminology and photography, to essentially sit at a desk and do nothing while her coworkers chased serial killers. Hitoshi, her little brother, was a complete brat, but she adored him anyway. He'd lay on the living room floor and rant about boys. For the past few months, he's been pining over the oh so mysterious Midoriya Izuku, though on the sports festival, with what looked like minimal effort, and she could hardly blame him, even if she didn't think he had much of a chance, until he started calling the boy Zuku. It made her immensely proud to see her brother with an arm around a certain green haired boy that had curled into his chest. However, this sweet moment had to be broken up. Clearing her throat loudly, Seneca inclined her head. Shouldn't you two boys be in class in 20 minutes? Fuck! The green boy shrieked away from Itoshi, over to the window, glaring into the window at his reflection, and making minute changes to his hair before huffing and chugging a bundle of wires as he pulled out of his pocket to Itoshi. Up. So, Aizawa, got your pairings decided for 1A yet? Kansurajo was the bane of Shota's existence. Exhibit A was that he thought it was the greatest idea to stick his ugly nose into something Shota was doing with 1A. Exhibit B was his insufferable student Monoma, who made a habit of yelling at his students during lunch. Fuck off. Kane shrugged, wandering away, and showed aside, pinching the brim of his nose as he glared at the papers. The exams were in 2 months. He had 2 months to prepare his transfer students for the heroics exam on top of their support or general ed exams. He had no idea where to start. Hiroshima and Kaminari were obviously a pair, if they had a single brain cell between them. Actually, no, they were perfect for exactly that reason. They'd have to actually think to pass. Oh, and against Nezu, plus Ultra. Mineta was awful. Shoulda was begging Kami for a reason to expel the brat, but had never had any solid proof of the disgusting things the brat was doing. Pairing him with any girl was off the list immediately, and pairing him with a decent person was a must. Maybe Sero. Sero was often the one to intervene if Mineta was being awful. Against Nemuri. She had a strong desire to punt the grape child. Not that Shota would interfere. Shoji and Hagakuri. Maybe. Shoji was a gentleman, from the way he treated Hagakuri and Yarirozu. He'd also been the only one besides Jiro to be able to track her. Against Snipe. He'd be interested to see how that turned out. He wanted Uraraka against 13. Her anti-gravity was easily combated by Black Hole. But who to pair her with? Fuck it, she's going with Aoyama. Jiro and Koda against Sashi. To adapt, okay? And maybe he was curious if Koda could control bugs. Yarozu needed a serious confidence boost. Someone that's willing to take orders and depend on her. Jiro was good, but she was already off the list. Todoroki wouldn't listen to a word from her. Ashido, maybe? Scratch that, Ashido was too headstrong to depend on her. Actually, maybe he'd switch Kirishima and Ashido. Kirishima also needed a confidence boost, and being destroyed by Nezu wouldn't help. Maybe Kirishima and Asui? Asui had a take no shit personality and would be willing to bring Kirishima back to Earth. Against ectoplasm, maybe? Maybe Midoriya, Shinso, and Yaoyorozu. But then that would mean Shota wouldn't be a good match to fight them. He'd come back to that. He could fight Tokoyami and Todoroki. They depended too heavily on their quirks. Ida and Satoru against Cementos, maybe. That would work. Kirishima and Ojiro could also work out. And against Power Loader, their fighting styles would be negated. Huh, guess he does. Wait, fuck. That leaves Midoriya, Shinso, and Yaoyorozu up against. He swore loudly, rubbing his face harshly and hating that the matchup could work. He was 14. Deku's head was bowed as he shuffled down the hall. A full body flinch induced every time someone passed by, often shooting cruel words his way. "What are you doing here, Deku?" One of Kachan's conies sneered. "I'd rather you were 6 feet under." After that particularly cruel comment, he threw his elbow directly into the base of the back of his neck, stopping Deku dead in his tracks from the awful, shuddering feeling it induced. Class had let out, and he knew what was coming was far worse. Kachan leaned against the gates of the school, his ruby red eyes holding an unspoken threat. 20 minutes later, he stumbled home with a dozen new bruises and burns. His eyes swam with tears that felt bitterly cold on his stinging cheeks, a mix of pain, fear, and humiliation. His mother didn't even look at him when he managed to push the door open and head to the bathroom. She never did. The school day had gone as per usual, except that he was heading home with Toshi instead of Mei. Izuku just couldn't get the memories out of his head. He was 10. Deku's ribs ached from where Kachan had shoved him just a little too hard with his quirk. But he kept a smile on his face and an All Might figurine in his pocket. He was gripping it now, recalling the hero's familiar mantra. "Stupid Deku! Why are you still carrying that old thing around?" His hands instinctively tightened around the figure. Yeah, Kachan?" His friend looked at him, intense in his red eyes. "Can I see it?" Hope flickered in Deku's chest as he nodded, passing it to Kachan. Not even 5 minutes later, Kachan was gone, and molten plastic sat on the ground, Deku crying softly. Toshi's pinky was locked with his. Izuku tried to focus on that, to ground himself. It didn't work. He was 6. Minor burns were scattered down and up his arms as he sat in the corner of his first-year class, legs pulled into his chest and watching the other students warily. "Hey, Deku, look!" Deku glanced over, surprised that someone had called his name. Barely anyone acknowledged him. "I drew you." Deku stared, confusedly, at the paper. "But there's nothing there." "Stupid Deku," Tsubasa said, chastely. "That's the point." "Oh. Can can we pick up your sister from school?" Toshi looked over, appearing surprised. Yeah, sure. I'll text Kaini that we'll be getting her then." "There's a reason?" He paused, thinking. "School sucked for me." There was no more words necessary, but Toshi grinned. Izuku felt his heart stutter. "You're pretty sweet, Zuko." Izuku took a scarf and promptly buried his face in it to hide how red his face went, following behind Toshi as he led the way to his youngest sister's school. When they arrived there, the doors were just opening to let out a bunch of kids that maybe came up to Izuku's stomach at most. Most stared as they passed, but Toshi just offered the kids a lazy smile, and Izuku stood, still stuck. "Hironi! Zuni!" Izuku jolted at the sudden familiar nickname, before the blue-eyed girl came bouncing up, Zuni came! Yeah, Toshi agreed, signing along with his words. Ready to head home, brat girl? Yep. She grabbed Toshi's sleeves, and Izuku instantly started looking around. He remembered doing that with his mom every time he saw one of his classmates. A boy with brown hair flopped up. Hey, deaf girl! Toshi's eyes narrowed, and Izuku caught Shinsou's lips quirk into a nervous smile. Hi, Kiryu-chan. Oh, hell no. He knew exactly what was going on. Hey, Kiryu-chan. Is it? The boy looked at him with a sneer. Calling someone a deaf girl instead of their name is pretty rude. Who cares? He started to return. She's just quirkless. It's not like she could hear it. It took physical restraint for Izuku not to deck a kid. Why is quirkless so bad? Because they're useless. Duh. Izuku pulled his ID from his pocket. I'm quirkless too. You see where I go to school too? If he made the kid regulate his life choices before taking Shinso-chan or Aki-chan, as she was insisting, out for ice cream, that was nobody's business. He made a kid's life better. He was going to be a hero, and he was starting with Shinso Akihito. Such a sweet chapter. Aw, that's nice. The next chapter is called Stand By You. So are they gonna kiss yet? Or I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're like halfway. Come on. They're already holding pinkies, going to each other's houses, meeting each other's families. Come on. I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. I am just saying. I'm just saying. Come on, guys. We all agree, right? We all can agree here. Right? I'm not the only one, right? I cannot be the only one. Anyways, as always, my raindrops. Oh, I forgot to mention. I decided to change up what the thumbnails look like. I don't know if, people noticed. I don't know if you guys are gonna enjoy it or not. I sure as hell love the new thumbnail. It is so good. It is so nice. It is so amazing. I absolutely love it so far. It is actually really, really good, and I really, really like how it's turned out and how it looks. And I really like it. It's a nice look. I hope that maybe you guys like it as well. It's vastly different from what I used to do. I thought maybe my thumbnails and my overall art was a little too muddled. If you still do want to see the tags, always click on the link of the, in the description, the first link in the description. That's the link to the fic. But also, underneath where I put the summary, I put all the tags as well. If you want to really quickly just look at that. For quick little look. If you just want to check out the tags really, really, really quick. But I do heavily recommend going into the actual fanfiction itself and also, giving it a kudos, giving it a little comment, supporting it, giving it a little hit in the sense of like you click the link and you get in, So yeah, I hope we like this new style. I really, really like it. So yeah, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.